Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here, joined by Thomas, feeling a bit better than yesterday. And holy shit,
Wow,
my
we've had a
God.
big day. We've had a long day.
I'm still hyperventilating
Yeah,
because we got some reactions out of
we did.
Venice.
We
Two
did.
massive premieres today.
Yeah,
For Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu's Bardo and Todd Fields' Tar. Not as much like press conference interview stuff. There was a lot of that yesterday, just because of the opening night ceremony. So we'll keep you updated on any of that kind of stuff. But really, the only two news points here are Bardo and Tar.
but they are very big news points.
I'm losing my mind right now. I don't
Yeah,
know what to do. My Oscars predictions are ruined.
yeah,
Let's talk
yeah.
about it. What one do we want to talk about first?
I feel like we should just get Bardo out of the way, out of our system.
It's got a 53 on Metacritic.
Yeah, and what's on Rotten Tomatoes? Because that's even worse.
It's on a 38.
Yep, 38. It's not looking good. It's
Oh
looking
my
not good.
God.
Yeah, I mean, like we thought maybe okay, it might not be received the best, but like when we said that, we thought maybe 70s.
We were like,
No, no.
oh no, it might be a high 70.
Yeah, like
Like
okay,
it
it might
might
not
be
be the
a
most
high.
successful thing, but it will generally be considered good. Far from it. Far from it.
Like this is
The
Iñárritu's
the
worst
overall
review of all
reaction
time.
is mixed to negative. Mixed to negative.
People just don't like it. Like people are calling it
Yeah,
pretentious and boring and overlong. And like if Venice is telling you that,
yeah,
you are
yeah,
in trouble. Like this is the type of movie that Venice is supposed to eat up. Like,
yeah,
Venice loves the pretentious stuff. If this got that at like TIFF, like that's basically the reaction
yeah,
that like The Power of the Dog got at TIFF. But
yeah,
it did insanely well at Venice in New York, right?
yeah.
So like, I wouldn't be too worried if Bardo got that out of TIFF.
No, no.
But coming from Venice, this is scary. I think that this isn't getting a single Oscar nomination.
I mean, it's really hard to judge. I don't think it does either. But equally, like we have mentioned the technical talent behind it. So could it
Yeah.
sneak into a couple tech noms like cinematography in particular?
Or
I wouldn't
production
put it.
design.
Or
Like,
exactly, yeah, those things. Like I wouldn't rule it out of the conversation. But with reviews like this, reviews as bad as this,
yeah,
it's gonna be a
like
tough ride.
cinematography could kind of make sense. It's a previous nominee, Darius Konji, for like I can't Evita, I think it was that he was
Maybe.
previously nominated for. Also did Seven in a more like Iñárritu movies have been winning cinematography. It's a
Yeah,
tech
yeah.
thing that it isn't like direct or anything where it's gonna be judged on the quality of the
No.
film. So like I guess
Yeah.
that
But
like
above the line
it's
stuff
probably
is
cinematography.
out of the
It's
conversation.
done.
Like we
Like
talked about
Pacho
Cacho for
done.
actor. He
Yeah.
was definitely someone I felt more like if Bardo is on the wave, then
Yeah.
he's sort of
Oh, absolutely.
latching on that end. I don't think his performance will in any way be strong enough to warrant his nomination because like
Yeah.
we do see that sometimes with actors in bad or actresses in bad films still getting nominated. I don't see that happening here, especially since it is a foreign language one. It's just
Yeah.
not happening. It is not happening
Yeah.
for him, I'm afraid.
I
We
mean,
also talked about Siciliani and Sporting Actress not happening. Original screenplay
yeah.
very unlikely. And
Director not
Iñárritu,
happening.
like
Yeah.
director's very stacked. Sure, like he can just go and someone will fill his place very easily.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk about somebody who could fill his place in just a second.
We
But
will.
with a 38 on Rotten Tomatoes, like what are you supposed to do? Like, and don't even say Don't Look Up because like that had a great audience score, right? All
Yeah,
these things like with low Metacritics. I mean, even if you look at something like Green Book, right?
yeah,
Movies with low Metacritics to get into Best Picture to be good Oscars players, they need like a 70 or plus audience score. If
yeah.
the
Plus,
critic
like,
score
yeah,
for this movie is a 38, the audience score for this is going to be like in the 20s. It's going to
yeah.
be
Plus, let's
abysmal.
not forget, like, with a film like Don't Look Up, it sort of did ride the wave of being deliberately polarizing. Like, lots
Uh-huh.
of people were
And
talking about it
popular.
around Oscars time. Yeah, like, it was very watched. A lot of people had a lot to say about it, whether that be positive or negative, and it ended up sort of riding the conversation into picture. No one's going to be talking about this
This
because
is a
A,
3 hour long foreign
not
language
many
film.
people's going to
Yeah.
be watching it. B, people are going, from what I've heard and read, people are finding it boring, and that is really not what you want for a film like this. Like Don't Look Up,
Yeah.
people call it whatever they like. It's not a boring film. This, it's going to struggle. It's going to struggle in every category it's trying to get
Yeah.
into. Like we spoke before recording,
Like,
international feature. The question is, will Mexico even submit it now? I mean,
yeah.
you have to think there's, on the one hand, like Iñárritu, big name director, they might just submit it based on prestige alone. and they sort of maybe will want Inarritu to keep sort of going down this Mexican language filmmaking. You know, those are things you might have to consider, but equally with reviews this negative.
Why are you going to submit a film
Yeah.
like when you have so many other
You'd
options?
surely have better
Why would you do
films
this?
available to you. Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, Spain didn't submit like Pedro Almodovar last year. It's not like countries are object to submitting like their biggest filmmakers. So
No,
like,
no.
and obviously that's a completely, you know, separate country with no like, but like still like it's just countries have no problems not submitting their big dogs.
And like even if it does get submitted, whether it gets in is a whole nother question. Like yes,
surely
it'll
isn't
be
going to be nominated.
no,
Like
no,
no
like
shot it gets nominated.
it will probably be watched more than a lot of the other nominees, unless like RRR gets in, but that's a different story. But like because it is still a Netflix thing, it will still be very widely accessible. People will still watch it just for Inarritu, exactly. Yeah. But like, I think we'll have a hard time even getting into international feature. And if it's not an international feature, then like a lot of the other awards are very unlikely, very unlikely.
Yeah, and we can talk about international feature in just a second, but Bardo's done, like straight up.
It's not winning, no, yeah.
Bardo, I think Bardo's pretty much done at the Oscars. It's not going to win a single Oscar. It's not going to get a single above the line nomination.
No.
Like it's just it's done.
Yeah.
Like Max is a cinematography or production design nom. I'm not even going to consider it for international feature with reviews like this. Like the only reason we would still say it's possible is because of Inarritu. Like just the name Inarritu.
Yeah.
Like
and like even if you look at other Best Picture nominees that are widely considered to be terrible, like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, that's still at 45% of Rotten Tomatoes, and it doesn't have the hurdle of being a foreign language film, and it doesn't have the hurdle of being 3 hours long. So like even the more terrible end of Best Picture nominees, they don't have a problem Bardo already had. It was Bailey as well, Like Bardo already had problems going in, but if it was received well, like we all were presuming it would just overcome these anyway. But with these reactions, that's unlikely now. I really have a hard time putting this in any category. Like even though I had it winning a lot of them.
Yeah, you had it winning Best Picture.
And it ticks a lot of the boxes. It did tick a lot of the boxes. I'm sure we will talk about Netflix and their whole situation in a little bit, but like it ticked a lot of boxes. However, we now realize that it didn't tick that one, probably the most important box, and that is being good. Yeah. It missed out on that one. Did all the other things correct, but just missed out on that one.
Yeah. So first I want to talk about international feature.
Okay.
And then we can talk about then we can talk about Netflix. So prior to this happening, because we do our Oscars predictions once a month. We'll be doing our next predictions after TIFF, but we update our predictions like throughout the month, almost daily at times, like just off of all the news that we get. Once All Quiet on the Western Front was officially submitted by Germany. I must admit, I placed it at number 2 behind Bardo, just considering the Netflix support, considering everything. I have seen Decision to Leave. It is a great film. I just don't know if the Academy will go for it for the win. But I also don't like All Quiet on the Western Front as a winner.
See, I don't mind it. I don't mind it as a winner. Because, and this sort of does converge with the Netflix conversation that we'll have after this, but if All Quiet on the Western Front is a more major Netflix contender than we are presuming, because things like Bardo are not going to be, we presume, then
White Noise
like,
as well.
Yeah, as well, White Noise. Like, if All Quiet on the Western Front is pushed and pushed enough, sure. Like, it can... I don't have a problem with it being an international feature winner. It feels like the type of film that might do that. It might get a couple tech noms. The original one, Best Picture, as we know. So, like, I don't have too hard a time saying that is currently going to be my number one. I put Decision to Leave...
Sorry to cut you off, but look at the last couple winners, though. It's, like, Drive My Car... and it's Another Round, and it's Parasite, and it's I think Shoplifters. No, Shoplifters didn't win.
No, sure, it was Roma.
So sorry, I don't know why I said they went to Shoplifters. Yeah, Roma.
Yeah, so maybe they do
All
go
Quiet
for
on the Western.
like
I know All Quiet on the Western Front just doesn't feel like it fits in with that.
No, but I do think if it is Netflix's one of their major priorities,
which is
it will automatically be the one that is in the conversation the most. Like I think it is very close between that and Decision to Leave for me currently. If you do want to look at Past President, that is the most sort of prestige one and sort of
I
one
mean, you have
that you can chart
Close
as to be similar
as
to.
well, or
Yeah,
Broker
you have things like that.
if Broker gets submitted by Japan. That's the other big question
But
because
I
that has
mean,
Neon behind it.
yeah, but Korea felt that Decision to Leave was a stronger film. So,
Yeah.
like,
Well, France thought that Les Mis was a better film than Portrait of a Lady on Fire, so I wouldn't
well,
really go too heavily into what the selection committees thinks.
no, I know,
But
yeah, but like to have them like go against each other when we've already seen
yeah,
Decision to Leave win, like
yeah,
it does just suggest to me the Decision to Leave is stronger than Broker. But yeah,
yeah.
I'd probably have All Quiet on the Western Front 1, Decision to Leave 2, and then like probably Close 3, followed by Broker.
I have as well. Yeah, I will say, what this does help with? It helps the Quiet Girl's chances.
It does. I love The Quiet Girl. I have a hard time believing
I have it
it
in.
will be
I have it in. My
really
my my
okay.
five for international right now is I've slid Decision to Leave back up to number one, even though
Okay.
it just yeah. So I have Decision to Leave, All Quiet on the Western Front, Close, The Quiet Girl, and Corsage as my
Okay.
five.
Okay. No Broker.
No, just because I don't know if Japan's actually going to submit it. I
Okay.
need to see Japan submit it first.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um,
And like
and
also we
I
shouldn't rule out RRR, like it's
yeah.
still
The
being
other
watched
thing
by
is,
lots of people.
speaking of
So
Netflix, is Athena.
yeah, as well.
Um,
Yeah. France
if
always
if France
usually
submits
good
it,
when it comes to
yeah,
these kind of things.
yeah. So we'll see, we'll see.
But
But
yeah, Bardo's gone.
yeah,
Bardo is gone.
but yeah. Notice the one movie that we haven't brought up this entire conversation about international feature, Bardo. It's not going to be
Yeah.
nominated. It just
No.
isn't.
No.
Who knows if it'll even be submitted? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
it's
As I
just
say.
thrown such a wrench. But I mean, if you're a fellow Oscars predictor, take it off of everything. Like,
Yeah.
except
Yeah.
maybe cinematography or production design. Those are the
Yeah.
only two I would still consider.
And I said before recording this, this threw more of a wrench in the works than when Killers of the Flower Moon got pushed, and
Yeah,
that is saying
yeah.
something. That
Oh
is saying
yeah.
something because that is two major contenders that are
Mm-hmm.
now just gone, and Rustin as well.
Thomas,
You can even throw in there as well. I thought Rustin was going to make a splash, but that's been pushed. So
Thomas, what have I been saying since the start, and why Women Talking and Everything Ever All at Once are still my top two? The big
yeah,
directors, the big contenders that you always expect at the start. When was the last time that they did well?
yeah. No, I will say my number one for picture right now, probably Everything Every All at Once. Like I was thinking about comparisons between this year and last year, and sort of the comparison you can make between films and like
Yep.
Everything Every All at Once feels like Dakota. It does. It does. It really does.
Like it isn't going to be like we've already seen Killers and Bardo fall, right, and it isn't going like the Fablemans, Babylon, and Empire of Light aren't Best Picture winners. I'm sorry, they just aren't.
No,
Those are not
no,
movies that are going to win Best Picture. They're movies that will win Best Director. They are not movies that are going to win Best Picture.
no.
Like
Yeah,
just straight up, when was the last? Like it's been forever since I mean technically it was this movie Birdman because
yeah,
Inarritu's was nominated previously for Babel, I want to say, but like before that you have to go all the way back to like 2004 with Clint Eastwood to find a
yeah.
Best Picture winner who's previously been nominated. So like it doesn't happen.
No,
It
no.
always goes to the up and coming filmmakers with the most passion. That is why I've said since the start, Women Talking and Everything Ever All at Once make the most sense.
Yeah,
They just
no.
make the
I'd
most
put
sense for
Everything
Best
Every All at
Picture.
Once number one. I still think. I know we've seen sort of rumors that Woman Talking is slightly more accessible than we at first imagined. Equally, I just don't know if that's maybe not a Best Picture winner. I find it hard to
Yeah,
believe at this point in time.
yeah.
So that's why I've got Everything Every All at Once at number one.
Like those are my top two, though. I think
Yeah,
those just like they make sense. So yeah, it's very very fascinating. But Bardo has been killed. Let's talk about Netflix because Glass Onion is Netflix's number one now, and that is just
no,
obvious. We can't keep on. You said that it was number three before. You can't keep on sliding it down as more Netflix things fall.
no.
We
I can
agreed
just
that
I
it was
can
the number
just
three.
keep it
Like
number
we said,
three and put Pinocchio and All Quiet on the Western Front ahead of it, and there we go, number
you
three
can't keep
still.
on sliding it down. It's obviously Glass Onion. It's going to do so well at TIFF. Like again, just assuming that this is as good as the previous film, how are you going to deny this? It is Netflix's biggest push. They are going to be panicking because Bardo didn't pan out, White Noise didn't pan out, Blonde sure as hell is not going to pan out.
No, yeah,
What else do they have? Like Glass Onion is the thing that they dumped a bunch of money into because they dumped a bunch of money into White Noise. Didn't work. They dumped a bunch of money into Bardo. Didn't work. They dumped a bunch of money into Blonde. didn't work. What's the last thing that they dumped a bunch of money into? Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. It is going to be their top priority just from a financial standpoint. As long as the movie is just comparably as good as the previous film, people are enjoying it. It would be a populist pick from Netflix, even if it doesn't get the best reviews in the world. Don't look up. Hello. Like, it has Netflix backing it. I think it at least gets screenplay. I think it could get into picture off of just screenplay because Netflix was, or the original Knives Out was just easily the number 10, I think. If there was 10 nominees, I think that gets in 2019. It got Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, and PGA. I think that's very hard to deny. So if there's 10 nominees, it could have gotten in off of just screenplay then. We've also been hearing a lot of rumors about Janelle Monáe.
We have. I don't know.
The Siciliani dropping out.
Too much rumors to Janelle Monáe.
With the ambiguity about she said, I think it's possible. I honestly think it's possible. But even off of just screenplay, Netflix always gets one in. If you ask me, between the German foreign language remake of a 1930s film, a stop motion animated musical by Guillermo del Toro, or Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, which is going to potentially, to finish top 3 at TIFF People's Choice, which of those is most likely to be nominated for Best Picture, assuming Netflix gets one because they always get 2?
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing All Quiet. I think you're doing All Quiet on the Western Front a bit dirty there. I think if we are looking at potential sound cinematography and production design, plus maybe a win in international feature, that to me is a way stronger haul than just adapted screenplay from Knives Out 2. Plus, let's not forget, it is a sequel. And that does play into
a remake.
Well, it's West Side Story. But okay, so remakes.
You named one. Okay, The Dark Knight. We can do this all day.
We could. So, but we're not going to. I don't see Knives Out 2 being a Best Picture thing at the Oscars.
Also, I realized The Dark Knight didn't get nominated for Best Picture, so Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3, yeah. Plus Lord of the Rings as well, one, obviously. I thought that example, I was like, well, I'm not going to say that.
I don't know why I said The Dark Knight, whatever, we can move on.
No, not good. No, I do very strongly think the Knives Out 2 will probably get PGA, probably get Golden Globe. I don't doubt that. Maybe even slips into TIFF People's Choice. I don't think it is guaranteed to be in TIFF People's Choice. I mean, look at the contenders that we've already got there. Like, the Fablemans are surely in. And then you've also got things like Greatest Fear on Ever, Empire of Light, Woman Talking, yeah. All of this kind of Triangle of Sadness as well. So, I don't know if it even does get into TIFF People's Choice. If it does, I will have to consider it a bit more strongly than I am at the moment. But at the moment, and I am sort of joking about Pinocchio, I do think Knives Out 2 is stronger than Pinocchio. I will give it that.
So you admit it's the number 2 at least?
I admit it. It's number 2. It's going up.
Netflix always gets 2.
Yeah, they're not getting 2 this year. They surely can't get 2 this year. But yeah. I put All Quiet on the Western Front currently as Netflix's top priority in my mind.
So are you? So you're
I just think the Academy will be reluctant to go for Knives Out 2.
Honestly going to say that you're predicting All Quiet on the Western Front to get a Best Picture nomination right now?
Right now, no. I'd probably just not put any
Netflix gets nothing in Best Picture.
I mean, maybe. I mean, we do also have to mention as well, looking sort of outside, the financial situation Netflix is in currently. Will they have enough backing financially to warrant a sort of campaign for Oscar-y type things? I don't know if they will. I really don't know if they will.
I mean, we didn't bring that argument up, though, until Bardo wasn't happening, so.
We didn't, but maybe we should have done. That was just maybe an oversight on our part. But yeah, I think I just struggle to believe the Oscars, the Academy, will have a film like Knives Out 2 in their Best Picture.
Okay, here's another thing, Thomas. We said the exact same thing about Top Gun Maverick for a year, and look where we're at right now. Yeah,
but we have reviews for Top Gun Maverick. We don't know how good. Top Gun Maverick was getting rave reviews from the critics and audiences. Will Knives Out 2 be getting rave reviews from Knives Out 2 was playing at Venice? Would it be getting good reviews in a way that I think Top Gun Maverick would still be able to get good reviews at Venice? No, I don't think it would. I don't think Knives Out 2 has a prestige attached to it that is necessary.
Okay, but again, you didn't think that about Top Gun Maverick. I'm saying as long as it's as good as the first one, which got rave reviews from critics and audiences alike, as long as it's just as good, why are we denying?
Well, I'm not denying it completely. I mean, I've got it in adapted screenplay currently. I have folded on that.
Yeah.
But I just really struggle to put it in picture. I really do. Like, let's not forget Top Gun Maverick has also made millions and millions and is still being watched today and still talked about today and is beloved by everyone. Like, will the same sort of thing happen with Knives Out 2? I strongly doubt it. I'm willing to be proven wrong about it, but I just doubt it'll be a best picture thing.
I don't know. We talked for like an hour before we recorded.
We,
I said
yeah.
then that I'm not putting it in picture. I've thought about it more. I'm putting Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery in Best Picture right now.
What are
It
you
is
taking out
in
then?
my top 10. I'm just gonna deny Tar.
You're going to die
right now.
That's okay. That's fair.
So when we'll segue into that. So basically, instead of replacing Bardo with Tar, I'm just swapping Netflix for Netflix, taking out Bardo, sliding in Glass Onion.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my number 10. It's my number 10 now.
I don't know if Avatar's in the conversation as well. That's in three blockbusters, retype things.
Avatar's not getting Best
Conversation.
Picture. Like,
It could.
I really, really don't think that Avatar is going to get a Best Picture nomination.
I don't know. I wouldn't be so confident
That
about
just
that. I mean, I
would
don't have it
not
currently.
make sense.
But like, either way, it's in the conversation, and we're talking about if Avatar 2 is received better than Knives Out 2, which again, these are all just hypotheticals. Like, we don't know
Yeah.
what they'll do at the box office. We don't know the reactions. I'll be very interested to see the Knives Out reactions. That's probably one of my most.
I mean, we'll get them in like a week,
now.
though.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we get them in like
So,
a week. So
yeah, I'm very excited to see the reactions to it. As of now, I'm holding off on doing anything big with it because I still, and I still probably will be hesitant to put it in picture.
yeah, this is just so wild.
Yeah.
What an absolutely wild turn of events, and we haven't even gotten to the other big thing. So I think that's a good enough conversation on Bardo. Just absolutely insane. I have the Birdman Blu-ray displayed up here as an in memoriam for Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. So let's talk about Tar.
Yes.
This got a 92 on Metacritic.
It did indeed.
For comparison, this is higher than Drive My Car.
Yeah. And like,
And we all
as we
know
said before recording, I'm sure it will go down. Like, it will inevitably go down. But as an initial first reaction, that is big. It's strong. It's very, very strong.
The other question is, what if it doesn't go down?
Well,
like,
that is another thing. But like, I'm pretty sure it will.
I see this ending up in like the low 80s.
Maybe even mid 80s.
Yeah. However, like, this is going to be big. This is going to be really, really big. It's like very strong. Rotten Tomatoes, a 94. Even stronger. This, like I said, we can expect it to dip a little. We were comparing it to Spencer. It looks like it's going to be doing better than Spencer. In all honesty. And I don't see it dropping as much as Spencer. This might just be the Critics' Darling art house pick of the year.
It very well could be. I mean, we look at the talent behind it, like Todd Field, he's got a history of the Oscars, and like we were sort of just we were sort of just ignoring it to an extent.
Fair, like, I had it in Best Picture.
You had it in, but then it got taken out at the end. But like, it very well could be a thing. Like Cate Blanchett,
why not?
Surely, like, she's very in the conversation. She could very well win. Like, if her performance is really, really good, like there was talk about Kristen Stewart winning earlier in the year. That could be the same conversation we're having about Cate Blanchett in a couple of weeks, of her being the win. Because I'm sure I'll love her performance. She looks like she'll be great in it. But like, we could be talking about Todd Field in director. Original screenplay could be a thing now. Bardo's out. Basically, we could just take out Bardo from all of the things and put Tar in there, and
it would brought up Nina Hoss as well, in supporting actress playing Cate Blanchett's lover. I mean, and we got some just minor plot stuff about it. So supposedly, this is going to be a film tackling Me Too, the Me Too movement. And Cate Blanchett is going to be a not very good person. So my guess is that like Nina Hoss is trying to like if I just had to speculate, like Nina Hoss is like in the orchestra and she has like an assault story and she's trying to bring it up, and Cate Blanchett is like trying to like make sure that she doesn't say anything so that way the orchestra does well and everything. And presumably it's was listed as competing for the Queer Lion. It's gonna be an LGBTQ film, so it's going to be following their relationship as well, and like how it kind of crumbles through that, and how they're trying to make sure that the orchestra still goes well. Like, seems like very chaotic, very just like everything crumbling apart. Going to be tackling political issues very based off the reviews very well. And I think that Nina Hoss, like, if that role is what we are speculating, based off of the the details that we've gotten, could be a very juicy role, potentially prime for a supporting actress nomination, where like after like somebody from The Sun, Michelle Williams and Jessie Buckley, we're pretty loose with it. Like, maybe
Yeah.
2 people get in from The Sun. You have Sadie Sink there, you have Stephanie Sue. Like maybe Nina Haas needs to be
Maybe.
shoved up in there.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And like, let's also not forget, score could be a very real thing because it's by Hilda. Not even going to pretend to try and pronounce her second name. There we go. But like, we just sort of assumed it would be women talking as her score this year because obviously it's very hard for composers to get 2 in. But like, and that was really just because we thought women talking would be the major Oscar contender, not Tar. Maybe if Tar is a big enough of a contender, that could come along with it as well. So it could pick up a couple of tech noms. I don't imagine it'll pick up many. I do think above the line stuff is a lot more likely, especially as you mentioned, screenplay director, actress, supporting actress. But yeah, it's got a very real chance of being a picture.
I think cinematography could be a thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Just based off imagery, editing, even as well. Like, what about sound?
Sound could be a thing. Sound could be a thing.
I think this could actually pick up text. So I've also I've Nina Haas and Sadie Sink as a very close 6 and 7 out of my supporting actors right now.
Okay.
So which includes Michelle Williams, Jessie Buckley, Vanessa Kirby, Stephanie Sue, and Laura Dern, with Nina Haas and Sadie Sink just outside, and then Janelle Monáe at number 8.
Yeah. Okay.
And then at number 9, I have somebody from She Said. So like,
and also let's not forget, like, there might be a narrative even built up. Oh, it's been 15 years or whatever since Todd Field last directed a film. He's been working on this one the whole time. This is his magnum opus or whatever. There could be a narrative built up around that, and that would be interesting to see. And that could also
he's never missed at the Oscars.
No,
like, let's not forget that. He's never. Granted, it's been 2 films, but they both were nominated for Best Picture. I believe he got director for In the Bedroom. Both were nominated for screenplay. I think 5 acting noms between the 2 movies. So like, him getting in both Blanchett and Haas wouldn't be out of the question.
Yeah. And like, maybe it won't be weird. Like, we were sort of expecting it to be quite weird based on the teaser trailer. But
so in IndieWire's review, they said that it was like surprisingly accessible while also incredibly art house.
Yeah, so, exactly. So like, if we're thinking about on that side of things as well, like, this screams Best Picture.
This might be our Drive My Car. Yeah. I think this very well might be our Critics' Darling.
Yeah.
That just rides the wave. Like, this makes sense for something that would like win the National Society of Film Critics. Makes sense for something that would, do very well. Like, New York Film Critics, LA Film Critics. Like, it'll just crush at the regional critics groups. Like we were seeing, like, I mean, last year when we were going through all those, it was just Drive My Car and Power the Dog over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it might be, it might be like Tar and Everything Ever All at Once or something. Just crushing this year all the way through. So Tar might be a thing. Tar just,
the more I hear about it, the more I think about it, the stronger I think it is. 100%.
Yeah. What a wild turn of events. Tar goes from outside it to in. Bardo goes from inside to out. Everything is on its head. And we're only 2 days into the festival.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then we have like TIFF right after this. So like, Venice ends on the 9th, TIFF starts on the 8th. So we won't even get a break. So
and there's a lot of exciting things and premieres to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like over the coming days and over the coming weeks, of course. But like, it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So you can be expecting us to be covering it all here at Oscar Buzz. We won't be going daily. Be a bit of a commitment. But Bones and All is tomorrow. And then after that we have The Whale, I believe the following day.
Very interesting to see reactions to that.
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll do one tomorrow for Bones and All. We might wait a day to just gather more reactions, unless there's like a trailer or something, unless there's like something very big to accompany it. But you can expect there shouldn't be 2 days in a row where we don't have a video covering film festivals, just all the way through TIFF. Like, over the course of the next couple weeks, you'll be seeing a lot of us.
So strap in.
So strap in. We are in season. I mean, you're going to be seeing a similar thing once we get to all the regional critics groups. Like, probably a video every couple days. Just breaking down everything. So we're gonna try to do a lot to cover everything this year. Before we were just doing like a video a week last season. Want to try to bring you all of the awards coverage.
We do.
As we're really into this season. So spread the word, because we'll be doing a lot of it here. But any final thoughts, Thomas?
Like and subscribe, I guess.
Yeah, do the thing on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you everybody so much for watching.
Comment down below which film you're most excited to see reactions for. There we go.
Absolutely.
Get a bit of engagement.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah. Just stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. There's a lot going on. A lot happened today. I'm still kind of freaking out.
Yeah. Just clarify, he's been like this for about an hour and a half, right?
Yeah. Thomas has been with me this entire time. I called him on my drive home, and I got out of a class.
He literally said, "I need to talk about Bardo," and I was like, "Yeah. Sure, I'll entertain this."
I walked out of. I mean, and this is probably a problem. I walked out of a class from college, and I pulled up Metacritic immediately and saw Bardo, and then I quietly screamed to myself and got in my car and called Thomas.
Yeah.
So that is how the last couple hours of my life has been going.
Yeah.
I
need to go and update my Oscars predictions.
Yep. Thank you everybody for sticking with us. We are in shock. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, everybody, and goodbye.